Hello, hello. Testing 1, 2. Hi guys, it's Alex Jordan. I have promised a video for a long time now. So many things going on, as you would know. But particularly my home setup is not as good as it should be right now, which is why I'm sort of cock off on my cuddler here with this mic. Probably the best light in the house for the minute. Hope you guys are all well and coping in this unprecedented, confusing and interesting time. Where can I start? Let's start at the very beginning. I mean, this coronavirus, COVID-19, was not a thing in this part of the world until it was. I want to remind one of Caribbean people, one of whatless Caribbean people, you were winding up in the streets in Trinidad Carnival, February 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Nothing. Nobody really was even thinking about that. And amazingly, many came through unscathed. But here it is upon us. And in Barbados, I remember when it happened, because all of a sudden I heard this word curfew. Now, not being funny, right? Like, I know what a curfew means, but that's just not part of the Bajan culture. You know, we are known and we're very proud of our peaceful democratic history and transitions since independence. We've been lucky in terms of hurricanes. We don't really, since my birth, I don't know, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't had a curfew, state of emergency. I mean, with respect to my neighbors, our neighbors in Jamaica and Trinidad, I mean, that's pretty standard fare, you know. Sometimes there's a curfew for whatever reason. This is lockdown, police are on the street. But I think that really affected my Bajan sensibilities. I was like, wow, this is serious. And then the personal reaction of not being able to go outside. I was like, if you all heard how many justifications I was doing in my mind to leave this house on the first night. I remember kept thinking, well, if I had to go out, I mean, clearly I would do my social distancing and I'm responsible. But no, these rules are for everyone. I watch with some amusement people on Facebook taking photos of people in the sea saying, look, yeah, we're all supposed to be at home, folks. You're only supposed to leave if it's your grocery day and you have to go out, or if there's a medical emergency and we have essential workers only working on the street like many parts of the world. So first things first, the freedoms, and that was a big shock to my system, the idea that I couldn't be physically free. But one of the other observations on the flip side of that was, wow, how free we have been. How free we have been in Barbados, obviously free in many ways, but also with access to education, with access to health care provided for by the government. That is freedom, you know, and it has made me very mindful and very grateful. And the other observation in terms of us as Bajans, and me, Alex, for my one part, is our relationship with food. Now that's interesting. Around the world, we've seen pandemonium in supermarkets, and I guess that's understandable. It's not so often we have a global pandemic. But in Barbados particularly, I am interested by the fact that people actually are turning off supermarkets because it's so hard to go, and you know, you have to go a certain day, certain time. And getting back to their local farmers, to local produce, to fresh stuff, supporting smaller local businesses. I love the idea of that, of course. And then I also think it's going to get us thinking a bit more about eating natural food. And that's what we need. Because we know that one of the reasons that we are such sitting ducks to this virus is because our health system is already overstretched, dealing with diabetes and hypertension and non-communicable diseases. So yeah, so that in terms of us eating fresher diets and maybe getting a little more connected to the land, that's good news. Speaking of connected to the land, I think you'll find I've made a kitchen garden. It's a bit more than that. Kitchen garden sounds too small. Call for what you want. I got okras, cucumbers growing, eggplants, Chinese cabbage, lettuce. I have tomatoes, herb garden. I am getting my farm on. Really interested in that. So those have been my observations, our freedom, our relationship with food, and also my own, me, Alex, for my one part, my entitlement. I ain't got to tell winner that the first few days, right, when I did go to one supermarket the day before the full lockdown, right, of course, 2.5 hour wait outside. How many times in my mind I was in that queue, I was thinking, wait, I got wait. Me too. Yes. Same rules for everyone. mind yourself, you know. Definitely made me look at myself. Why would I think that I'm more important than somebody else and I need to do this? But this is the mentality. This entitled mentality is what leads people to break curfew or to go any sea or to go running because they want to go running. But actually, what about everyone else? We're all in this together. Okay, so there, first video banged out. Go AJ. I would like you guys to comment below. Give me your first observations of what's been happening for you personally and, of course, nationally since the beginning of this pandemic, and we take it from here. Thanks for listening.